So I posted something about compliance and being willing to actually do the things that a teacher or a guide suggests that you do. And if you don't do that, then people can't help you. But I need to say a little something about the other side of that, which is cult awareness. Because, oh, get the bunny, get it. They love chasing bunnies, and they never catch them, thank goodness. Because if you blindly follow someone and give up your boundaries, your centeredness, then good girl, Hoshi, good girl, Pia, then you can come under the undue influence of an authoritarian personality. So I want to clarify that compliance would mean have an open mind and try something if you decide to work with someone. Then also, if it's not working, or you won't try it, or you don't want to try it, or it makes you uncomfortable, from the beginning, you need to speak up. Now, when you speak up, if you're working with a cult personality, they will try to convince you, seduce you, bamboozle you, bullshit you into doing what they want you to do, because they want you to, quote, get the results that only they can provide. In other words, you can take someone's advice and guidance, but also you should be able to disagree with them, argue with them, have criticisms, and be able to work through it, just like you would with a good friendship, or if you have a great intimate relationship. You're able to talk through things and not get punished, either psychologically, verbally, or physically, for bringing stuff up. But if you're working with someone who's trying to be a really good convincer and is focused a lot on outcomes rather than this feels like a good thing to try, let's see what happens, then that can be a nice red flag for you. Because I do understand there's a lot of fear about giving in to somebody and then getting seduced by them and then finding yourself down in a dark hole. Now, this often happens more with sexual encounters, but it also happens with charismatic personalities. And this is one of the reasons I try to be not perfect. My videos are not professional. When I've been on camera, I don't edit. I don't look great, I don't think. And you can see that, when I do these videos, I go off topic a little bit. I talk to my animals. Sometimes I cover the lens with my hand. My voice isn't perfect. And one of the reasons I make these sort of homemade videos is I want to make it very clear that I am a normal person with a lot of talent. I am not head of an organization. I'm not promising outcomes. I am offering, as they say in 12-step programs, to share my experience, strength, wisdom, and hope. In other words, to be an elder or a shaman. Me personally, if someone looks too polished, too good, the story is just so well crafted, I honestly don't trust it. It takes me longer to trust a person like that. Now, someone who's really clever could also go the other way and carefully craft transparency as well, or attempt to. And this is where being able to work with energy, pure energy that happens in silence, not with guided meditations, not with music, not with binaural harmonics going through your brain, all of which are good. But pure energy is spirit whispering to us, which gives us free will to not listen and not follow. Because, if Jesus came down on a beam of light, I think even I would go, yes, sir, I'll do whatever you suggest. But having free will means that there's a suggestion made, a whisper, a puff of wind. And this is how my teacher works, which sometimes frustrates me so much, very much the Eastern tradition. He will mention something once, and if you don't pick it up, you're not ready to do it, and it'll happen when life makes it happen. I remember seeing something recently about a statement that said, adversity is our greatest teacher. And the point of having a spiritual path is that we need less adversity because we are more finely attuned to hearing, feeling, sensing, however you receive messages from spirit, the whispers. I, on the other hand, sometimes get in there and lecture people. And some people love that. They say, I get so much more out of that when I'm with your teacher. When people used to go visit him, I don't get it, and I don't understand. I wish I was more like my teacher. And maybe I'm getting more like that as I get older. I don't know. Maybe I am sort of a different version, which is people who need a little bit more talking to because they can't hear the whispers, can't sense the whispers. And until they can, my use of words and examples, etc., and psychological tools, perhaps that's helpful. So when you listen to if you do, the video about compliance and actually trying to do what someone, you went to them to seek help and they actually make a suggestion, and then you don't try it, and you don't say you're not going to try it, and you don't speak up, and you get passive aggressive, and then you wonder why things aren't working. And maybe part of that is this secret concern that you're being controlled. Test it out. Speak your mind, etc. I argue with my vets all the time with the horses. Confine your horses. And I go, no, horses need to walk to get healthy. And they're not so stupid. At least my horses aren't to re-injure themselves if something is wrong. So the vets, because they see the results of my horses getting better, are now used to it. And by the way, when I argue, I'm very respectful. I'm just really honest. I hope this helps, and I don't run a cult. I wish I did. I'd make much more money. I'm kidding. I'm not kidding. I would. And if you're stuck, or you haven't met someone who has really helped you to tune into your own connection to spirit, to source, maybe meet me and have a little talk. And why am I pushing this? Well, I know I have been extraordinarily blessed with some incredible elders that got me through my very challenging life. And I just want to be one of those people for somebody else if that's kind of on the table for them. And nowadays, it's harder, I think, to find authentic teachers and helpers because there's so much BS out there. Okay, remember, free introductory session, 30 minutes long, DRMARIE, drmarie.org. See you later.